Hello folks and welcome to FBD Insurance Simple Stadium. Here we have round 5 of the Glen Dimplex Senior Camogie Championship between Tipperary and Clare. I'm Trevor Hassett for Tipperary Camogie. I'm joined by Breed McNamara, Clare PRO. Breed, you're very welcome to Thurles.
Thank you very much, Trevor. Great to be here. Fabulous day for a match. Conditions look ideal out there, so they do today, and at least there's no rain.
No, please God, we'll get away for the next hour and 10 minutes without a bit of rain. It's muggy enough here, warm, it'll be warm down pitch side.
It's very clammy, all right. So you think of that for the players, all their preparation all week in terms of hydration and build up and preparation of food, nutrition, all that. It is very clammy, even up here and we're up in the heights of FBD Simple Stadium, but yeah, you can still feel the mugginess and the clamminess. Yeah. So different ball game for them down there.
I'm sure the heat will be turned up now in another 10 minutes when the game throws in. With teams line out as selected in the programme, so I'll go through the Tipperary team first. Number 1 in goals, Laura Lenane, Shannon Rovers. Number 2, Niamh Costigan, Clare. Number 3, Karine Blair, Cashel King Cormac's. Number 4, Emer Lukeman, Clonty Rossmore. In the half back line, number 5, Caoimhe McCarthy, Knockavilla, Doneski Kickham's. Number 6, Maria Deviston, Drummond Inch. Number 7, Sarah Corcoran, Mycarkey Burris. In the middle of the field then we have Karen Kendi, Thurles Sarsfields. She's joined by Caoimhe Maher, Burgess Duhara. In the half forward line we have number 10, Roisin Howard from Clare. Number 11, Mary Burke from Drummond Inch. And number 12, Emer Heffernan from Knockavilla, Doneski Kickham's. In the full forward line then we have Clodagh McIntyre from Luradura wearing number 13. Number 14, Casey Hennessy from Clonty Rossmore. And number 15, Grace O'Brien from Nina Rogue. Breed, I'll hand over to you and you might go through the Clare team.
Yeah, so the Clare team are lining out with Dermot Murphy from Clarecastle in goals. The full back line is Susan Daly, Scariff Gunalow, Claire Harrine, Kilnamona, and Sinead O'Keefe, Kilmaley. Half back line we have Linda Daly, Scariff Gunalow, Abby Walsh, Scariff Gunalow, and Danielle Griffin from Ina Kilnamona. The midfield pairing today is Niamh Mulqueen, Broadford, and Caoimhe Carmody, Kilmaley. Half forward line, Caoimhe Cahill from Kilmaley, Grace Carmody from Kilmaley, and Jennifer Daly from Scariff Gunalow. And then in full forward line we have Roisin Begley through Clonlara, Anya O'Loughlin through Clonlara also, and captain of the side. And in number 15 we have Zian Spillane from Fecal Killanena.
Very good, Breed. Today's game is going to be refereed by Barry Nay from Westmeath. And just an update there on the game that has started there through in at 2 o'clock is the Glen Dimplex All-Ireland Under-23 semi-final. Half-time score, Cork 1-3, Tipperary 8 points. That's quite a surprise, I suppose, Breed, because in the group game, Cork were fairly comprehensive winners over Tipperary, so I'm surprised to see that score, but it's well welcomed. They're gone down on a mission to Castle Road and Mahon, and you know, if another half an hour like that and they'll find themselves in an Ireland final.
They will, yeah, indeed, and like Cork did take the Munster Under-23 title, didn't they, earlier this year? I know they had a good win over us in the semi-final stage. So yeah, that is a positive for Tipperary that they're up on them at this point. Half-time, I would assume the weather conditions wouldn't be that different down there, that they'd be playing with a gale force wind or anything like that. But yeah, very positive for Tipperary today.
Yeah, good to see, and sure, hopefully during the game we'll give updates as they come to us, and hopefully we'll be on our behalf in Tipperary we'll be celebrating a win, and maybe hopefully 1 of 2 for today. We'll let you have the second match, Breed.
Well, we'll definitely take the second match, but I suppose when you look at this match today, unless Tipperary beat Clare by an absolute cricket score, I don't know if that's even the right term, 60-point defeat, that's the only way Clare can be knocked out. At this point we're both qualified for the quarter-final stage, and I think it's a position that both counties want to be in and want to progress. I know Tip have been in that top 6 for a couple of years, but Clare want to make that breakthrough, so to make that final 6 is massive for Clare Camogie.
Oh, absolutely, and I mean Tipperary have been in this boat before where, you know, trying to break into the top 6, top 4, it's a hard task. You have the likes of Cork who seem to be that bit farther ahead of everyone at the moment, but on their day can be beaten too. You know, so Tipperary will want to go about their business smartly and get the job done, as no more than Clare. Get in a good performance going into a quarter final, and you know, on the back of it, anything can happen. Then once you get as far as a quarter final, it's all in the day. Yeah,
definitely. And like Clare went travel to Cork last Saturday, and Tip were playing Limerick, and I know there was eyes on both pitches, if you like, from each side. Because obviously, if Clare had, or if Limerick had done the business where Tip were concerned, that was putting pressure on Clare, especially with today's game. But Tipperary, we were shouting for Tip last Saturday. We ain't shouting for you today. But yeah, the performance Clare put in against Cork last Saturday in Páirc Uí Chaoimh was absolutely enormous. And if you look at the championship to date, Cork put 6 goals past Limerick and they put 3 past Tipperary, but they got none last Saturday. And I think that shows and demonstrates to everyone how Clare have progressed through the championship and how they're building.
Yeah, I mean, Clare's games to date, they've conceded just 239, which is very good for conceding just 2 goals, whereas Tip, 326 they've conceded, but they have racked them up at the other end, I suppose, in 2 games. And that's where they'll look to keep, I suppose, against if anyone from here on now, you'll want to be racking up the scores. Goals win games, as you well know.
Exactly,
so, it's all good and positive to keep the habit good.
And these 2 sides, when they've met previously, it's gone one way or the other. There have been a couple of heavy defeats as well along the way, but there have been a couple of good wins for Clare also. I don't know if you remember that game in the Gaelic grounds. We played here and it was a draw, and then we had the replay in the Gaelic grounds to get into the Munster final a couple of years ago. And there's never an inch spared between the 2 sides.
No, and I suppose Clare are coming on the back of Trua Clonlara being Munster Senior Club champions. That famous game that was played in Littleton there. Started in daylight, finished in darkness with 45s and 2 sets of them.
Yeah, absolute superb game. And we have a smattering of the Trua Clonlara girls there. But we also have the Scariff O'Gunlow girls who also brought home that Munster title to Clare. And then you have the likes of Clare Herrera there in full back, Jemina Kilnamona. I mean, absolute. We always say she should be double marked nearly on the pitch, so she should, because you see her in the backs, but then you see her racing up forward, and Clare is no stranger to getting her name on the score sheet either.
Yeah, look, so we're ready to go here now. Barry Nay is ready to throw the ball in, and we get underway here, and the game is on. Tipperary playing with the slight aid of a breeze down from the town end, scoring into the town end, and Clare are defending the town end, scoring into the Klein end.
And there we have the Carmody on the attack.
Judge to overcarried a small bit, referees are getting stricter and stricter on it, which, look, is no bad thing either.
No, it isn't, but I suppose it then makes for a stop-start game.
Free from Mairead Everson playing to centre forward.
Niamh McQueen winning it.
Ball played up down the line. Down to Caoimhe Cahill. She won an Ashburn Cup for UL this year.
Grace Carmody putting it in there.
Ball easy in.
Begley.
Or Roisin Begley, excuse me. Great score, Roisin Begley.
Yep.
Opening score of the game comes to corner forward, Roisin Begley.
One of the true Clonlara contingent.
Yeah, we spoke about him earlier. Long puck out from Laura Linan down straight on top of Roisin Howard. Roisin Howard wins it a second attempt. She has the advantage of a free. She goes back to Caoimhe McCarthy. Ball played into Casey Hennessy. Casey has a go, but it's just to the left and wide. So waiting puck out now from Dylan Murphy from Clarecastle.
Clarecastle, and a former Munster Senior Player of the Year, and Dylan is well used to these big occasions in the big stadiums.
Plays the ball out, Emer Heffernan contested. Ball breaks, Claude McIntyre gets onto the ball. Claude has great speed if she can get open ground. Pal floats it to Karen Kendi. Karen Kendi goes through, strikes off the left. And that's a great score for Karen Kendi. Karen Kendi, I suppose she's one of the vital players for Tipperary, has been for the last number of years, started centre back, but nowadays she seems to have added up scoring prowess to her game, which Tipperary depend on. Great take by Jennifer Daly, super take in the air. Played straight into that corner again to Roisin Begley. She misses it first attempt.
But she's still there.
But she's still there, she's still battling. Niamh Costigan is on her knees, but she comes out with it. On to Roisin Howard again. Roisin offloads. Caoimhe McCarthy. Caoimhe slips.
Danielle Griffin and Grace Carmody.
Grace Carmody is in, trying to root it out there. And she's still at it. And Caoimhe McCarthy has a go ahead, but Grace Carmody is still there. She's been aided by
her sister Caoimhe. Battling hard with her. And it's Caoimhe Cahill who comes out with
Caoimhe Cahill. Ooh. Evades the block down from Karine Blair. Ball played across the field. Ball played in again, but Clare seem to have the +1 there. Someone has drifted out the field on Tipperary's behalf. Well done, dispossessed. Claudia McIntyre offloads. to Emer Heffernan. Emer Heffernan shoots and over the bar. 2 points to 1 in favour of Tipperary. Emer Heffernan contested at Ashbourne Cup final also. She played for UCC, played alongside Abby Walsh of Clare.
Yeah, there would be a huge smattering of the two on both sides.
Yeah,
through the third level.
That's right.
The Ashburn, so
Jens Spillane and Caoimhe Cahill and Sarah Corcoran of Tipperary all lined out for you well that day. Ball played down, one again.
Superb catch there by Caoimhe Cahill.
Very much involved in the game straight away so far, and she gets pushed in the back and she wins herself a free. Good start on both sides, you know.
Neither side is
keenly fought.
Keenly fought, yeah. Neither side is shying away. They're going in there. We haven't had many of the big tackles yet, but both sides, there's players putting their hands up, going up for dropping ball. There's no fear or anything.
No.
Both sides have let us see that they want to take ownership and that they want a result out of this. Clare standing over this free here now.
And she slightly misstrikes this one, but goes in along the ground. Roisin Begley comes out attacked, and Niamh Costigan is tagging along behind her, but she offloads it to Jens Spillane. Zian has a shot, slight block down. Begley. Back to Roisin Begley again. Roisin Begley jabs it. Second time of asking, gets it up in her hand. Tries to play it back across, but it's intercepted by Karen Kendi. Karen Kendi solos out the field. Ball into the forwards, but Roisin Howard had made a run prior to that, and no one at home. Only 2 Clare players. Grace O'Brien is doing her best to try to root it out from under their feet. And I think that's gone. It's a Tipperary line ball. It was just out over, I think, just before the Clare cornerback fell out over Susan Daly. She's one of 4 siblings on the Clare panel, am I right?
You are, yeah. We have Susan Daly, Linda Daly and Rachel Daly. They're the triplets, and they're joined by their younger sister Jennifer. So it was a huge achievement for the Daly family.
Huge achievement, yes, exactly. Ball sideline taken by Grace O'Brien across the field. She receives it back. Grace, fancy her chances, straight between the posts from Grace O'Brien. Grace has been hugely intervention so far. She's 419 to her name up to today, and she's really come alive and taken on the ownership. I suppose in the absence of Emma McGrath, who's been out injured this year, not far away from coming back at the same time, but Grace has really picked up the mantle of the scoring, getting the scores for Tipperary. Puck out now, straight down the field. Niamh Mulqueen offloads it to her midfield partner Caoimhe Carmody, who's fouled, and it's going to be a free into Clare.
And with Clare Hare coming forward to take this free, Clare is excellent for these long range frees.
She's huge. I suppose the last one she probably just misstruck it. I suppose she'll fancy her chances this time.
She'll fancy her chances definitely this time, and we don't want to put the commentator's curse on her either. That's what we don't. Well, I don't. You may.
No, we wouldn't wish that on anyone. No. So Clare Hare lines.
Not her game.
One of them. She's just a small bit nervy, but she receives it back now, and she's going to have a go on it from play off her right. Ball dropping around the house. Yes, she has it.
She recovered that well, so she did.
Fortune favours the brave.
Yeah.
If at first you don't succeed, try again.
Yeah. And I think that's testament to the character. She never gives up.
Instead
of going back, she go forward to make sure.
Puck out now from Northern Ann, straight down the sideline. There's a foul there committed, and Emer Heffernan has advantage, but there's 2 fouls, I'd say. But she's still going. And let's see, we're going to go back for a free.
Yeah, he had the hand up, so
he had it up a couple of times, In fairness, he let the game flow. Good puck out by Lauren Ann, down into space. Got slightly lucky, it went out over the Clare half forward, which was Jennifer Daly, but Emer Heffernan ran onto it and she won her free. So we have Grace O'Brien standing over the free, 15 yards out to the right hand side of the goal. Grace bends, jabs, and strikes it straight between the posts. So our score, we have Tipperary 4 points, Clare 2, after 7.5 minutes. Darren Murphy, Clare Castle now preparing to poke the ball out. So it appears Mairead Evison is playing as slightly a sweeper down around the back. Gets across to intercept the puck out. Well done, Mairead, and she's going forward with it, but she's been intercepted.
And it's Caoimhe Carmody.
Caoimhe Carmody, she's very involved in the game so far, isn't she, Caoimhe Carmody?
Very involved.
Karen Kendi breaks the tackle, wins a free, and advantage is carrying on. Casey Hennessy has the ball off her right. Casey Hennessy has gone to the right and wide.
that'd be tipped second wide of the game.
That's right, yeah. Look, I suppose that was an example of when you would have liked the free to be given,
Yeah.
but look, you can't be picky and choosy, you have to take it as it comes.
Clare upped it there now for the short puck out to Clare Harrow, who's...
Yeah, it's probably something that they're going to try avoid. Maria Davison is the spare girl back at the back, and they'll just try to get it into their own ladies into the middle third here, where they'll be able to attack from there. It's turned out well so far. The early ball into Roisin Begley has 1 point to her name so far, and they look to try that again, I'm sure, as the game progresses.
Yeah, Anya O'Loughlin with sideline push here now for Clare. Zian Spillane still in the running for it.
Bit of a scramble over there, the ball comes up and it's
Coming away.
It's Queen McCarthy who gives the hand pass off to Karen Kendi. Karen Kendi races up the field with the ball. Sorry, it's Corrine Blair. Corrine Blair has great pace. Corrine from the Cashel Club. That's a super score. She gets it. Corrine with a fantastic score, and that's Corrine. Corrine has scored a point in the last 2 games now. She's on a roll. Wearing the number 3 jersey, but she rarely plays at full back. She's seen as one of the tightest.
She's a roving fullback.
A roving role, yeah.
A bit like Clare Harrow in that sense. Yeah.
Always good to have one, especially one that has an eye for a score also. Ball comes out, back down the field. Danielle Griffin plays the ball in again. And it's
Anya O'Loughlin who got the touch.
Queen McCarthy wins possession. She's held up. And she's held up successfully. Roisin Begley with a fantastic tackle. She held her up, give her no option, only to overcarry the ball, and it's a free in for Clare.
It is indeed, yeah. And Anya, the way Anya, high ball coming in, and Anya O'Loughlin's able to maximise her height there and bring that high ball down. It eventually worked out for Clare's favour, and now we have Zian Spillane standing over the free here, so we have.
So we have Zian, she crouches, she lifts, and it's over the black spot. So the score now reads Tipperary 5 points, Clare 3.
10 minutes on the clock, just over 10 minutes played.
And so we've Laura Ann goes short this time to Mairead Evanston. Mairead drops it first time but gets it back up. Solos for the small bit. So that's the risky stuff she's trying to play, but just about gets away with it. The Clare forwards really pressed, and Zian Spillane I think is down injured after the last tackle there. Just a small bit of a heavy tackle. She came out the worst of it. Ball comes out to Cueva Cahill. Offloads
to Cueva Carmody.
Gets in a shot, but it's short. It's short. Laura Nan comes out, picks the ball, and she gets blocked down. And the ball now breaks to Clodagh McIntyre. Clodagh McIntyre plays the ball into opposite side of the field. Casey Hennessy misses the first one. Grace O'Brien is on. Grace O'Brien has the ball in her hand. Can she offload it? She offloads it in on top of Mary Burke. Mary Burke is in. The Drum Lynch run. Mary Burke shoots. What a goal from Mary Burke. Great goal there.
Yeah, great finish from Mary.
Ball played across the field, swapped the play. Grace O'Brien raced out, won her ball under close attention, got off the offload to Mary Burke, who was rushing straight through, ran the straight line and finished to the net. I suppose it went from one end to the other. A lot of heavy pressure down here from the Clare forwards. They blocked down the goalie, they blocked down the clearance, and they didn't get rewarded for their efforts, but it's a bit of a sucker punch to see it go up the other end and concede a goal.
It is a bit of a sucker punch there, all right, but it could have been what we saw the action down here and the pressure that was put on the tip backs, no return for it, and then 30 seconds later it's in the back of the Clare net.
Sport can be cruel in that regard, can't it?
Definitely.
I suppose it's just Clare now to settle now and maybe get a score back down the other end to try and negate that goal. Just waiting now of an injury at the moment. Niamh Costigan is down injured. I see Julianne Burke is warming up there. Julianne was out for the last while with a broken thumb, so she's nearing return as far as I know. Niamh is it? Sorry, it's not Niamh either. It is. So we're just paused here, waiting treatment on the field. It is Cueva Maher, sorry, apologies, Cueva Maher. The green helmets were mixing me up and they're in the same position, so now puck out now from Darren Murphy, goes short, out to Susan Daly. Susan Daly races up down the line. She's Grace O'Brien coming for attention, passes the ball down the line.
Danielle Griffin has it.
Well, great tackle from Tipperary, super tackling. That's great tackling in fairness from Tipperary. They put the pressure on, won their free, and it was super work, you know.
Similar to what we saw earlier up the other end.
Very similar, yeah. So both sets of forwards are really putting in huge work rate, pressurising the clearances, making sure nothing comes out too handy.
And the one thing I think we have seen is that Barry, it's no overcarrying.
No, but yeah, he's been very consistent so far. He's given frees both sides for the similar events. So you've Grace O'Brien out on the 65 out, right on the sideline. She's probably about 70 yards plus, given the angle. Grace lifts and strikes. It's going to be short. It's a long way out. Now in on top of the Clare defence, but Sinead O'Keefe comes away with the ball, clears her lines, and it goes out to Linda Daly. Oh, Linda's fouled over there. That's going to be a free out.
Sinead, who captained Clare to the 2023 Junior All-Ireland in Croke Park, and has really cemented herself in that cornerback position for Clare since coming on board with the senior panel.
Yeah, look, it's great to see progression like that. Work your way up through the ranks, you know. It's a telltale sign of those that are really hard working and they put their, you know, step by step. You know, some people get up there straight up and stay there, but more have to work their way up, I suppose, as we return to the play with Grace Carmody. Grace is blocked down by Mairead Eviston. Cueva Cahill wins the back. Cueva Cahill has possession. She has Karen Kendi for her company. Karen wins a free, and Karen kicks it away, and she's going to take the free.
Yeah, and as we were just saying, the progression of players, there's a number of the Clare girls here who were on that 2023 junior team who played intermediate and then this year have progressed into the senior panel. So I suppose that's what it's all about. It's all about developing players and bringing them through to your senior team, your showcase team.
Absolutely, yeah. Look, that's what it's all about, the development of players and, you know, bring them up through the grades, keep them playing the game. That's what it's all about, I suppose. Grace O'Brien, 65 plus out. She connects better with this one this time and it goes straight over the black spot. The third point for Grace O'Brien.
15 minutes on the clock, so Tip definitely in control at this point in the game. So they are. Clare need to get a score in the next couple of minutes if they don't want this game to slip away.
Yeah, it's key now. Just the puck out comes down on top of Jennifer Daly. Jennifer Daly concedes to Cueva McCarthy. Cueva McCarthy wins the ball. Grace O'Brien picks it up. Now Roisin Howard races forward with the ball and Karen Kendi picks it up from there. Karen is going to take him on. Karen tries to go through a tackle. She offloads it to Casey Hennessy, and it's a point for Casey Hennessy, Clonty Rossmore. Yeah, it is an important stage now for Clare, really. They'll have to settle down a small bit and just try to slow down Tipperary's play. Tipper really, after hitting into third or fourth gear now, and it will go short again out to Clare Harrer. Clare clears her lines. And we're down to Sarzonia Loughlin, who's gone out to the half forward line now. She offloads to the midfielder. Cueva McCarmody, who plays it low in.
To her sister Jennifer.
And Tipperary, Mairead Eviston races away out straight up the middle of the ball. High tackle, she throws it and she gets done for overcarrying it, I'd say, but she seems to appear to offload it in an unsatisfactory manner, I suppose, to Barry Nate.
Yeah, he deemed that to have been a throw ball as opposed to, I actually thought he was going to blow the whistle for a free for her in terms of the tackle that had just come in on her.
No, he let it go a small bit, but
a free for Clare.
Free for Clare, about 68 or 9 yards out, and it's going to be Clare Harrer again. Executes this much better than the last two, and that's a super score. It's gone all the way. Super score for Clare Harrer.
And as we said just before that passage of play, that's what Clare needed. Clare needed to get a score on the board there.
Exactly, yeah.
Keep their ticking over for them.
Yeah, no, look, if they can keep the scoreboard working and keep tipping away score for score and stay in the game, that's what it's all about. Laura Nan pucks out to Roisin Howard, who changed wings and gets on the ball. She passes it back to Karen Kendi. Karen breaks 2 tackles. Karen has fresh ground in front of her now. Karen Kendi, she's racing through the middle. She has Cueva Maher on her right. Cueva Maher's the ball. Cueva shoots over the bar.
I think she was going for the top.
I think she was going for the top, but it seemed
corner. But I think I think Darren Murphy got a touch.
She might have got a touch. I'd say
over the bar there.
Clare of an injury worry now with Niamh Mulqueen is down there after that passage of play. Yeah, Tipperary, when they run out of Clare, they seem to they're able to go through the gears, through the middle, and they're able to get their scores. They're very good offloading game. That they have the runners on the shoulder, I suppose. It's part of the modern game, I suppose, where, you know, that the super fitness of the players, that they're able to get up on the shoulder and offload then when they have to, and take the score when it presents the opportunity.
Yeah, and I suppose that's the way the senior game is. Well, the whole game, but especially at senior level, and you see it in the GAA as well, just how professional it has gone. These are elite athletes, like in every sense of the word. Their dedication to the sport and the commitment they make in terms of training, the lifestyle they live, to be at this top level.
Yeah, and it looks like Niamh Mulqueen is going to exit the field here now. I'm just waiting to see who's coming on. She has her helmet and her bib on, but she'll have to take off the bib if she's coming in.
Looks like Cliona Queally is the one that's
Cliona Queally, number 17.
And they coming
Cliona
on
Queally,
here
okay.
Yeah, bibs off.
Yeah, so Cliona Queally is going to enter the fray here.
Niamh Mulqueen will be disappointed at that, but
yeah, look,
definitely she needs attention.
She
so
does.
She does.
It appears to be an ankle injury of some sort. That she might just roll her ankle. But anyway, back with the play. Here we are in the middle of the field, and Tipperary have the ball, and Casey Hennessy. Casey Hennessy plays it back. Second time of asking, Red Everson gets it up and plays it back to Casey Hennessy again. Ball comes across. Karine Blair plays it in. Grace O'Brien's on the back foot this time.
Clare
Harrow comes out first tenaciously. Looks for a free but doesn't get it. Feels she might have been tripped on the way out, but Casey Hennessy has the ball, gets blocked down. Blocked down.
By Abby Walsh.
The ball out here to Emer Heffernan. Emer has a shot, but it's gone to the right and wide.
Yeah, Clare Harris still down for Clare.
Yeah, she chased out Grace O'Brien at time. Feels she might have got a bit of a trip or a push, I don't know. But she seems to be in a slight bit of discomfort at the moment. So with the game ticking over the 20-minute mark now, we've Tipperary 1-8, Clare 4 points. Getting a bit stop-start, isn't it, Breed, at the moment?
It is getting stop-start, yeah, and I suppose that's the thing.
I suppose the humidity and the heat and everything.
The humidity and the heat, and I think even for spectators, it's a little bit of what's frustrating in the game. So it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
The stop-start nature that sometimes can occur. We all love to see the free-flowing games. They're absolutely a joy to watch. But I suppose a referee has to take into account players' welfare also.
Absolutely, at all costs, yeah.
And if a player is down and she's down for a few minutes, then it's only the wise thing to hold the game for a couple of minutes and see does she need attention.
So the ball restarts again for Darren Murphy. She plays it out to corner back to Susan Daly. Susan tries to come out past Roisin Howard. Roisin stands her up twice, and she illegally the second time. So it's a free out for Susan Daly.
An opportunity here now for Clare Harrow to drive the ball down the field.
Yeah, a bit of relief for the backs, to get it out of there because
they have been putting in an immense effort.
They have.
And I think that's reflected in the scoreline that Tipperary have run up.
I suppose outside of the first 6 to 8 minutes, she plays a short along the ground, a super intelligent pass, and she gets it back herself. And she's going to clear it now. Oh, she didn't connect the way she wanted it again. And Karine Blair turns it over. Karine Blair breaks onto it now. And she loses it again under pressure from the Abby Walsh. Linda Daly now. Linda Daly's fouled on the far side there, and it's going to be a free for Clare.
Clare making her way over to take this free also.
I suppose one of the games that has finished already today in the Glen Dimplex Senior Camogie Championship is Galway 17 points, Waterford 11. Bit of a small surprise. I suppose Waterford had been going well. That would probably see Galway top the group, and imagine, won't it?
Yeah, because Waterford had been top of the group, and I think 6 of one, half dozen another as to who was favoured to win that game.
Ball comes down, the ball is cleared by Mairead Everson up along. Roisin Howard tries to slip her marker, and now she has done so successfully, and Roisin picks the ball, gets her head up and takes off soloing. Roisin Howard is going to go for a shot. Appears to be short and wide, I'd say. And it ends up trickling wide.
Abby Walsh and Danielle Griffin forced her to take the shot, and I suppose from a tip point, unfortunately, from a Clare point, fortunately it's wide of the mark.
Yeah, Clare are putting fierce pressure. Abby Walsh gets the ball from the puck out, and fortunately Caoimhe Carmody has run out over that one, and it's Caoimhe Maher who is picked it up. She's now fouled. Karen Kennedy has advantage. She's still racing through. The advantage is now gone, and Karen Kennedy has gone forward. Passes the ball off to Roisin Howard. Roisin Howard races onto it. Ooh, well done. Super corner back play again from Sinead O'Keefe. And she seems to have picked up an injury now in the process of it. But in the meantime, Karen Kennedy wins the ball. She offloads to Casey Hennessy. Casey Hennessy goes low. So the bottom corner. Super goal from Casey Hennessy. I suppose it's small margins. Sinead O'Keefe came out there, threw her body on the line, blocked the first one, the ball broke through, and in turn then, while she was injured, the overlap was created, and it's unfortunate.
There was that extra player then in the hit forward line, and they were able to take advantage of it, and what better way of taking advantage than using a green flag.
Correct, look, you have to be ruthless when you get in.
Exactly, ruthlessness. And I suppose it's something that we see it predominantly in the Cork team.
Yes.
It's not something that we would see a huge amount of ruthlessness like that in Tipperary, in Clare.
Yeah, I suppose the rest of us are trying to catch up with it. Cork are both under 23 and senior. I've seen them a couple of times this year. And even minor to the same degree. They're ruthless when they get inside there, and they just want to hang it up in the top corner, bottom corner. It doesn't matter. Their goals, it's like this, as I said before, the goals win games, and that's the more them you get, the harder it is for the opposition to make inroads into it.
Yeah.
So we're just waiting here. We've attention been received by Sinead O'Keefe. Sinead from the Kilmaley club.
She's back on her feet.
She's back on her feet again now. Yeah, she's going to play on. You see the youngsters under 15 Clare players coming in after playing their blitz. They'll be in to shout on the boys, the minors later on.
And we hope that they'll be here shouting for the girls.
Well, they're here in plenty of time to give them their support now. Ball comes out. Maria Davison, slightly she turned back into a clumsy tackle, I suppose, on behalf of Jennifer Daly, but Maria wins the free. I suppose I just want to give a shout out to the girl I'm standing in for, Tipperary County PRO, Geraldine Canaan. She's on her holidays in France, and she texts me, it sounds good from here, so that's good enough for me, Geraldine. We hope you're enjoying the game.
Well-deserved holiday for the Camogie Association PRO of the year.
Yeah, she sets the standards very high, and I suppose you're up there with her as well, Breed, I'd like to say, because I follow you on Twitter and Facebook, and there's a ball going into the square, and it's just got in a scramble in around the square, and it appears that the ball was shoved over the line. I think it's Mary Burke again, I think. She seemed to get there just before Grace O'Brien, and the ball just trickled over the goal line.
And I suppose Clare will be disappointed with this, considering the huge effort they put in last Saturday below Parky Green.
Yeah, and maybe that's slightly catching up on them maybe at this stage, but the first 6 or 8 minutes they were really on top, and they seem they're failing to get the ball into the forward into Roisin Begley, who was causing fierce bother from Eve Costigan in the first 6 minutes. But they're on it again here now, and Abby Walsh is in trying to get the ball out. Jennifer Daly there for support. Can they get it away? Tipperary in 3 and 4s.
Jennifer Daly still battling, and Grace Carmody
Queen McCarthy in there too. And the referee decides that he's going to slow it down and throw it in. Yeah, like we haven't seen the likes of the ball into Zian Spillane or even Roisin Begley.
No, there has been a poor
They've been starved, haven't they? For very dangerous forwards, they just haven't got enough of the ball, to punish. Jennifer Daly is off again here now, being chased by Maria Devston. Jennifer Daly gets the ball away just sloppily, but Zian Spillane is onto it, tries to flick it up there for Roisin Begley, but it doesn't come to much. But she's still there and they're rooting away for it. Can they get it out of there? Zian Spillane has the ball. She passes it out to Jennifer Daly. Jennifer Daly, she straightens her line. She's getting huge attention there from Clodagh McIntyre. Does a super job, tries to dispossess her and wins it. Clodagh McIntyre back playing her own half back line. Super work rate from her. Tries to get the ball away. Carrying Blair she missed the first catch, and then she just got caught up on herself with the girl coming against her. And
Queen Carmody, and I suppose the helmet.
Yeah, she just got her arms caught the wrong side of her, and in return, I suppose.
An opportunity here now for Zian Spillane to convert to free for Clare.
So we have Zian Spillane here, standing over the free, about 45 yards out, shooting into the Killinan end. She lifts, She strikes, and it looks good from here. And it's over there. Second point of the day for Zian Spillane.
28 minutes on the clock, and just something that Clare needed now.
Yeah, look, if they could work hard here and maybe get one more for half time. Abby Walsh is racing out to this ball. She's first to it, but it runs out over the sideline, so she'll have a line ball. Yeah, look, Clare will need to get another score just to, bring something into the dressing room with them. That, they're still in this. An early goal, second half.
An early goal in the second half.
Could really turn this game on its head. So there'll be 3 minutes of added time in this half. So the line ball goes straight in. Roisin Begley is on it. She tries to slip her marker, but unfortunately she has the +1 Mairead Evanston behind her for support. She offloads to Karen Kennedy. Karen plays a crossfield ball to Caoimhe McCarthy. Caoimhe McCarthy gets her head up and sees open grass ahead of her and takes off. And she tries to she tried to offload it, but slightly behind Corinne Blair, who in turn loses. Jennifer Daly wins the ball back, passes it back to Danielle Griffin. Clare trying to play around it, maybe want to get rid of it a bit further out to Abby Walsh. Abby Walsh wins the ball, and she sort of contemplates what to do with it. She was going to strike it and going to carry it, but in turn she passed it straight to Karen Kennedy, who in turn just fumbles it out over the sideline. So it's going to be a Clare line ball now.
Tipperary relentless though in their attack and in their pursuit of winning possession to drive forward.
It's probably one of their very impressive points that they have developed in the last couple of games, especially since the Cork game, the first game. Their intensity, their aggression has really come up to the fore, and they've showed it in the last 2 games, which is what you want to see going forward into a quarter final, of course. Casey offloads to Clodagh McIntyre to Caoimhe Maher. Caoimhe Maher runs sideways and plays it out to Emer Heffernan. Mary Burke. She strikes in to Emer Heffernan, but it breaks through and it runs out to Susan Daly. Susan now has Roisin Howard for attention, but she clears her lines, and the ball is coming forward and it's clear down the line, and unfortunately it's out over the sideline. Clare will be disappointed. They're getting on a lot of ball. It's just the final ball just seems to be the wrong option, or they're just running out of room, I suppose. They're probably trying to keep it away from the centre where Mairead Evanston is situated, or they're trying to get it past
the wings, and
like you see at the moment, even Zian Spillane now is inside with Emer Lukeman on her own. There's not another player inside the 45 for either team, so maybe they're trying to isolate it, but they'll have to get the ball in. Returning to the play, Emer Heffernan gets on the ball. Emer plays a crossfield ball. Clodagh McIntyre races out, but she's bet to the ball by Sinead O'Keefe. Sinead O'Keefe drops it but gets it back. Gives the hand pass off to Caoimhe Cahill. Caoimhe Cahill, first touch, lets her down, but she gets it back again, and now she runs at him. Now she can get her head up. Ball played in. Is it over the top? Roisin Begley is there, but they're outnumbered slightly against Zian Spillane. Tries to dispossess Mairead Evanston, and Mairead Evanston wins a free.
And it looks like Barry is going to have a word with Zian there.
Yeah, look, it was a bit of both. It was 6 and 1, half a dozen the other. Could have went either way.
I think that could be a first ever yellow card for Zian Spillane. Because she wouldn't be known as a player for that kind of play, so she wouldn't be getting caught up in a tussle or anything like that.
So Mairead Evanston plays the ball down into Grace O'Brien. Grace O'Brien out first to the ball, takes on her opponent, and she throws it out, shot off the left, and it's over the bar for Grace O'Brien. Grace, a very stylish player, fast on her feet, and when she gets out, beats you out to the ball, it's very hard to get it back off her. Grace
that gives it a 3-9 to 5 point scoreline in favour of Tips, and we're 2 minutes into the injury time at the moment.
So Darren Murphy goes short out to the side here again, out to Susan Daly. Susan brings the ball forward, gets her hand pass away out to Danielle Griffin. Danielle Griffin breaks the first tackle, and she gets dispossessed out over the sideline, and it's going to be a Tipperary ball. Players are starting to feel it now after a high intensity 32 and a half minutes. It is, as we said, it's very clammy, very sweltering here without the sun even coming out.
Yeah, difficult for players down there, all players, both sides.
Yeah.
You can see it on them all. It is the Moirishkis who are getting in the run.
Roisin Howard goes across the field, plays it across to Caoimhe Maher. Caoimhe Maher goes to the far corner. Grace O'Brien is out to the ball first again ahead of her marker. Picks the ball in her hand, turns, shoots off her right, off the post, back down, and it's going to be Abby Walsh who comes out with the ball. Abby clears it down the line to Anya Loughlin, who's a long way from where she initially started at number 14. Plays across field to Clare Hare. Clare Hare, big clearance in. That's a good ball in for a corner forward, as long as they don't run into each other. But Roisin Begley takes it on first time, and she's gone past her marker. She needs a bit of support now because she's on her own. She wins it back again. She gets it out to Zian Spillane. Zian has the ball. She turns back again. She's looking for support. The bodies just aren't there. They're looking for that extra, and it's well read. Caoimhe Carmody plays it back to Zian Spillane. Zian shoots. Well, she was falling. Maria Davison wins the ball, and it's Caoimhe Cahill has it. Caoimhe Cahill. Can Clare get a score? Out to Anya Loughlin. Oh, slightly mishit. And Lauren Lannan comes out with the ball, and that's going to be the last action of the first half here in FBD Insurance Simple Stadium. Tipperary 3-9, Clare 5 points. So we'll have a small bit of half-time analysis there now from Anne-Marie McGann. Anne-Marie, give us your thoughts on that first half.
Look, I suppose both teams started well enough into the first 5, 6, 7 minutes, but I think maybe Clare have lost their way a small bit. They're a little bit confused, I think, on what to do, whether they're playing it out short from their backs or, hitting it in long. I think they'd probably get better change if they kept their full forward line in a bit further, and that would force we were talking here, Maria Davison sit back in on the D, and then the Clare half forward line would have a bit more space to kind of play around with the ball. There's too many tip backs now, and not enough Clare players probably getting up to support the full forward line. So if they sat back in and left a bit of space in front of them, they probably would get better change. And I think Roisin Begley started the game off really well, and I think Clare would probably do well to get the ball a bit more to her. She seems to have the pace on her marker, and then kind of get the runners in supporting her. It's disappointing, I suppose, to let in the 3 goals, but one of them came from our own mistake back here. We had great pressure on the goalkeeper and the Tipperary full back line, but then it was worked up straight up to Mary Burke, great through the lines by Tipperary, and they got one of their goals out of that, whereas we probably could have had a goal or a point out of it as well. But looking at Tipperary, it's a testament to them that Karen Kennedy, Grace O'Brien are up there on top scorers in the championship so far. I think Karen Kennedy's got about 3-3 already this championship, and Grace O'Brien, I think she's something like 4-18, 4-19 scored already this year. So that's phenomenal stuff by her. And they're their go-to players at the moment. Karen is working really hard in the middle of the field, and Grace O'Brien is, every time she seems to get on the ball, she's dangerous. But I think that Maria Davison being the free player, Clare need to kind of sort that out and see where they're going to drag her around to see can they exploit maybe getting in for a goal or two. But
yeah, because Roisin Begley and Zian Spillane, when they get the ball, they're very dangerous, and they take a lot of watching actually, because on average, I say the ball went up maybe 7 times in that half, and they won it every time.
Yeah.
I know they didn't get scores out of all of them, but they caused problems for the tip corner back in the first 6 minutes. So if they get enough ball up there, they could hurt them. I suppose it comes down to that. They'll just have to try and play the ball to the flanks, keep it away from the likes of Maria Davison, who's sitting sort of around the D there, So
yeah, and I suppose it comes down to decision making of Clare, but I think Tipperary have kind of snuffed that out. You saw there near the end of the first half, Clodagh McIntyre was back practically in her own half backline. She was back to clean up any ball that I suppose a Tipperary player didn't get. She was miles away from her own position on the field, but she knew that probably Sian or Roisin Begley got on the ball, that she was going to be there to help it. So look, it's probably not the performance that Clare would have wanted, but Tipperary I think will be happy enough with their game so far, and those players like Karen Kennedy, Grace O'Brien, and those that they're playing the ball to, I think they're going to get great change out of. Mary Burke has scored 2 goals, Casey Hennessy a goal and a point. They're the ones that are going to want to be passing the ball. We need to get the ball for Clare in as far as Roisin Begley. Lockie's kind of gone out of it a small bit. Anya Loughlin there, she was kind of up towards her own half back line receiving a ball. Instead of, I suppose, we'd refer to as a tower inside Clare, that she should be in there.
She's a target, she's someone that they need up there for the 2 smaller girls in Roisin Begley and Zian Spillane to work off, I suppose. I know ideally maybe bring her into Maria Davison, I suppose, or something like that would be an option that she'd have to combat with her. Then maybe the girls could work off that. But is Anya Loughlin, she's probably, it's robbing Peter to pay Paul, bringing her all the way back to the half back line.
Yeah, but I would still probably go back to bringing back in Anya probably a small bit more, and they'll just have to go and try and change. Now, do you see the way Dublin were playing the hurling? They poke ball in the top of that lad inside in the full forward line. There's a lot to be said for it now at some stages in the game, and maybe it's a chance now in the first 10 minutes to try and get the ball in for Clare in and top Anya Loughlin, plant her on the full forward line, be a menace inside her, and let the 2 girls kind of play off her. But as I said, Tipperary have had a really good 30 minutes. We've lost Steve Mulqueen in the middle of the field, replaced Julie by Cliona Queally, well-able girl as well. it might be coming down maybe the last 10 minutes that Clare might take off a few players just to kind of keep everyone fit and healthy. We're already in the quarter-final as our Tip, and that just might be a case of we'll mind the bodies now, both Clare and Tip probably going into the quarter-finals. But Clare won't be happy, I'd say, with that performance going in at half-time, and I think that there'll probably be a few stark words said. But look, it's kind of an odd game to come into when you both know you're in the quarter-final, but you just kind of want some kind of performance on it that you can build on it going in. And Clare will probably come out. They seem to come out in the second half of games a little bit better, and I think that might happen, but they just need to be conscious of probably not letting in another couple of goals. What's the difference now? About 15, 16, 17 points. You don't want it to be going a lot harder than that now at the moment. Like, you know, you don't want it to go any higher than that. Try and keep it around that. Tip away, play some good camogie, and let both teams get out of here, I suppose, fit and healthy and into quarterfinals.
I suppose both teams are really going to be looking to keep a good performance going forward into the quarterfinals. You know, all the good qualities. You know, stay working the scoreboard. You know, if you don't win it, you don't win it. But at the same time, have a good confidence booster going into that quarter-final. And I suppose, as you said, keep injuries to a minimum. I see Julianne Burke going in there now. It looks like Tip are going to roll the dice as well. As you said, change it up, give another girl a chance. That's what it's all about going into a quarter-final.
And there's 30 minutes now for both Clare and Tip just to kind of, you know, work through a couple of things maybe that they might do in the quarter-finals, or a couple of scenarios that might happen. And, you know, speaking from the Clare point of view, whether they do or don't win the game, I think, is irrelevant. It's just to have that good performance now for the next 30 minutes, that they can build on that and train over the next week, and try and get a good foothold going into the quarter-final. But look, it is what it is now at the moment. Both teams need to come out and just set down a marker for the second half and tip away.
Perfect. Look, thanks very much, Anne-Marie. We're going to take a quick break here. We'll be back to you to present the second half of the match in a couple of minutes. Thank you.
You watch out for any Clare subs there coming out.
Ian McCarthy. "17, 20 or not. 20 is on. 20 is Andrea O'Keefe.
20. So who's
22 is on as well.
22, Andrea Anderson.
Aoife? Who's gone?
14, 15, 13, 14, 15 all there. 10 is there. 11 and 12. 12 is going out midfield.
11. Grace is gone, is she?
8 and 11.
8 went in half first time.
Oh, sorry. Right, someone back in the half back line. So. Right, we're back here now. So we've a substitution in the Tipperary team at half time. Julianne Burke replaces number 30. Julianne Burke replaces number 5, Caoimhe McCarthy.
And we also have a couple of replacements on the Clare team. Andrea O'Keefe is on and Aoife Anderson is on. And looking down there, Grace Carmody's off the pitch. And I'm just trying to figure out which is the other Clare sub-player that's off. Sinead O'Keefe is off as well, so she is. So we have Aoife Anderson and Andrea O'Keefe replacing Grace Carmody and Sinead O'Keefe on the Clare side.
Very good, and we have a free for Tipperary in the middle of the field. Grace O'Brien standing over it. Grace hitting into the line end, strikes it well, but goes to the left and wide. Tipperary's 5th wide of the game, 4 in the first half.
Well, now they've had fair return on their day on their shooting. So I don't think that the tip manager is going to be overly disappointed with 5 wides.
No, not in the hour if it says at 5, but if it increases, maybe so. So we're back underway again here. Sharp puck played out, and the ball comes across to Mary Burke. Mary Burke has a shot, comes across to Clodagh McIntyre. Clodagh loses the first one, but tries to win it the second time, but is dispossessed, and it is coming out as far as. And Aoife Anderson clears up the line. Small bit off the ball there.
And Begley catches it.
Roisin Begley's away from Niamh Costigan. And she hangs it up, and it's a great score.
Superb score, just what Clare needed there to start off the second.
Just what they needed, and I suppose you'll have a lot of Clare folk coming in now for the minor game. So hopefully, the crowd will start to roar them on and give them something to work on, I suppose,
Yeah, definitely. The Clare crowd, the crowd is swelling here, so it is for the minor hurling final. So and I suppose with my Clare hat on, I just want to take this opportunity to wish our minor hurlers the very best of luck. Managed by our former senior Camogie manager, Ger O'Connell. So all of us are shouting you on today, Ger, you and your boys.
Very good, and I suppose there's a slight Tipperary connection in that match too. Rory Ralph's father Ken would be a man from McCarthy, as far as I know. His brother Ray was over the Tip minor Camogie this year as the ball goes in from Clodagh McIntyre, but it's saved out for a 45.
Yep. Dernan stood firm over that, so she saw the danger approaching, stood her ground and deflected out for a 45. And I suppose that's what you prefer to see than another green flag waved, because as Anne-Marie said in the half-time analysis, you don't want this game getting too far away from Clare.
No, and she done well, and sometimes they can be the ones that catch you, the ones in the near post, so she done well to stand by her post as Grace O'Brien lines up to 45 here. Should be simple enough for Grace, player of Grace's calibre, straight in front of the goals. She bends, she lifts, she strikes straight over the bar.
So and I suppose while we were waiting that puck out to be taken, just an opportunity to mention former Clare player Rebecca Crowe. We've had good wishes from her there during half time, enjoying watching this live stream, so huge thanks to Tipperary Camogie for it. Rebecca's over in Tokyo at the moment, so
I'll interrupt you. Roisin Begley's away again. Sorry, we'll come back to Rebecca. And Roisin Begley wins a free in. Roisin Begley has come out of the traps as she did in the first half.
And that's exactly what it Crowe would be saying. Stop talking.
Now you can get back to vision.
Yeah, but Rebecca was a great servant for Clare Camogie, and great to hear from her and great for her to be able to watch this match even though she is over in Tokyo.
Very good, and we wish everyone, I suppose, that can't be here today, and both abroad and are in medical institutions, we wish them well, and we hope that you're enjoying the game. Jan Spillane steps over this, she lifts, she strikes, and similar to Grace O'Brien's effort a few minutes ago, goes straight over the bar.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Clare want. They're now in this good start to the second half, couple of points over the board, get everyone
Yeah,
settled.
just as we said, like, you know, it's all about performance now, second half. If the game is gone away from, you know, which anything could happen, but it's important that going into a quarter-final, you really want a good performance, like.
Yep.
So Laura Lannan goes short out here to Sarah Corcoran. Sarah Corcoran wins the ball first time, slips a small bit, pressure from Roisin Begley, but she offloads the ball to Niamh Costigan. Niamh Costigan, she strides past Caoimhe Cahill for the... Caoimhe Cahill off. It was a great tackle because Niamh Costigan is slightly smaller than Caoimhe Cahill, but she just brushed it off. Ball goes in as far as Clodagh McIntyre. If she can turn her, she's gone because she has blistering pace. Clodagh McIntyre steps outside. Can she finish? That's a great score. It's a super score. Point for Clodagh McIntyre.
And I suppose it's the determination she showed to be able to get through and shrug off the Clare backs to get her score.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's going to be playing for places, I suppose, now, because heavy tackle there. Both players go down. Clare Haher will feel the brunt of that, I'd say, because she received it as a head just above the shoulder.
Yeah, both medical teams.
Both players down.
Physios running on there.
Two strong girls. When there was nothing soft about that one. They both collided.
And I suppose what both managements, like, these are two key players that are down, and both managements will want them in full of their health next weekend in Crow Park.
There'll be nothing left to chance here now, I'd say. If either players are feeling the ill effects of it, they'll surely be withdrawn. I suppose I'll just take this opportunity. I want to say hello and well done to the Tipperary mascot for today, Chantel Burke from Ballingarry, the famed club of the Tipperary senior hurling manager Liam Cahill. We hope that Chantel enjoyed her day and she came out there with the tip team when they entered the fray before the game. So it's good to see that the sort of promotion of the game.
And I have to say the way clubs have bought into it, but the way the match officials, I know that up in Clare we've done it consistently for our home games, and it's the way the likes of Barry Nee and Liz Dempsey have all bought into it. They come prepared with extra flitters, extra whistles to give to these young girls who are mascot. It really makes it a family day for them.
So we're back underway here again. Ball cleared out by Clare Hair, and Caoimhe Cahill wins it. She offloads to Caoimhe Carmody. Caoimhe Carmody picks second time basket, she passes it on. Aoife Anderson misses, gets blocked by Sarah Corcoran, and in return Caoimhe Maher gets in the block again. Zian has the ball. Zian's playing in this end line. She tries to evade Maria Davison, but that's hard to call from this side. It's on the far side of the field, but it's a free out.
God bless you, Barry, with your eyesight, because I would definitely not have called that for a...
we have to trust him. He's closer to us, so we'll leave it with him. So free coming here now, Laura Lannan from Shannon Rovers. Laura strikes long, gets down as far as the far 70-yard line. Grace O'Brien slips her defender, she clears it and she's gone in chase of it, but it says the line is going to... No, she keeps it just in play.
Just in play. And Clare Hair is over it now.
Yeah, it is. We were sort of fortunate in the first half, all the players on this side. It's on the far side of the field now, and the glasses are getting tested. So the ball...
Abby Walsh.
And the ball is being... It's gone a small bit scrappy there at the moment, but some Julie Van Burke is in there in the thickness of it, and it's won there by Cliona Queely. Cliona plays it out to Jennifer Daly. Jennifer Daly plays it in along the ground. Zian Spillane comes out in front of Emer Lukeman, and Sarah Corcoran wins the ball, strikes it down the line to Emer Heffernan, who strikes it cross field to Karen Kennedy. Super ball. Karen gets her head up now. She sees something on her. She's going to take him on. She takes him on. She goes right past Clare Hair, who pulls her down. It was good footwork from Karen Kennedy, and I suppose Clare Hair, but I suppose she had nothing left.
She had nothing left to do, Clare.
And is looking back, probably the right decision. You know, she fouled her 30 yards from goals.
Concede a free out there rather than someone who's rampaging through your defence and intent on raising a green flag.
Well, as you said, I mean, this not that it's hard to see it happening, but I suppose the points difference, you know, if Tipperary was to just go into 6th and 7th gear, this could be an issue, but I suppose that's what Clare Hair, it's stop at all costs.
It's stop.
You know, reducing, as Grace O'Brien strikes it over the bar again from the free. So we now have the score 3-12 Tipperary, Clare 7 points as we approach 39 minutes on the clock.
That would be a 13-point deficit, And as we spoke at the start of the match, it's actually 59 that need to beat us by, 60 that need to beat us by.
That's a lot of scores.
So that's an awful lot of scores. And unless all comes off of green flags, I don't think either of us see it happen.
No, it's hard to see it, In any game of hurling or camogie, it is massive scoring.
Yeah, massive scoring, yeah.
So we have a line ball here, which Emer Heffernan is standing over. Emer plays it across the field. Jennifer Daly is being closely marked by Karen Kennedy. They're having a fair old tussle there, Jennifer Daly and Karen Kennedy, aren't they?
Absolutely. One of the key battles we've seen throughout this game.
Absolutely. They're two great players, Jens Plan. Oh, it's Jens Plan. It was a free down here. It was on the line, and the 70-yard line. So
Clare Harrer is going to stand over this one, calling for the ball to be sent back to her.
Anya Loughlin's in on the edge of the square, I see, in the second half, so maybe they're going to try get the ball in the top for her.
Yeah.
But Clare doesn't seem to be in any great hurry to. She's going to let the Tipperary spare person go back in.
And the other half of the Clare Twin Towers is down there, coming out, putting on her helmet, getting ready to go on. That being Ellen Casey.
She goes short, it's dropping. Now it's dropping top Anya Loughlin. Ball saved by Sarah Corcoran, and she brings the ball away. Very cool, collected, and Emer Luton passes it, but it goes out over the sideline. She tried to get to Emer Heffernan, but pass was slightly obscured. As we see, number 18, Ellen Casey, as you said, warming up, ready to come in, enter the fray.
It just seems to be a day, I have to say it.
Like we want to see that one again.
But when we've seen Clare miss-hitting trees in the first half, it just seems to be a day when Lady Luck stayed in Clare and didn't come on the bus down with the girls.
Well, maybe coming the second bus now, Breed, you know.
Yeah. But it just seems to be a day that absolutely nothing is going right for
small
Clare.
Margins
and there's small things, and I suppose as a Clare person, if I was asked, I would actually say I'd rather see these things happening today.
Exactly.
So that you get a clean run at it next week.
So Jens Plan seems to be leading the fray, carrying a small bit of a knock, I'd say. She's walking off gingerly enough to be replaced by Ellen Casey from Newmarket and Fergus. So back at the play, Karen Kennedy runs onto the ball. She's intercepted by Andrea O'Keefe. Caoimhe Maher runs the ball, but she dispossessed. Abby Walsh plays it down the line, down to the same corner again.
Roisin Begley tussling here.
She's there. While she's a slighting figure, she has the heart of a lion, I must say, because she's.
And it's Ellen Casey who has it.
Oh, that's definitely a no. He'll let it play now, and as it turns out, it's into Caoimhe Carmody. Oh, good block from Julianne Burke, and Mairead Everson cleans it up. Yet again, it's them small things you're talking about. The ball, the break that could have went one way or the other, and it goes in Tipperary's favour. Roisin Howard tried to slip her defender there, but Abby Walsh back to clean up the mess, and Abby Walsh brings it away. Ooh,
not really. It's still there.
And Tipperary come out of it, and it's Roisin Howard. Roisin Howard hand passes it off to Casey Hennessy. Goal on, and it's another goal. Casey Hennessy. Yet again, it's as we spoke of, it seems to be the small margins, the breaks of the ball not going Clare's way.
No.
What should have been a goal up here has come down, and it's ended up in the back of the Clare net.
Same scenario in the first half. What should have been a goal or a potential goal for Clare midway through that first half, Tipperary overturned it, moved play to the other end, and what we saw then was a tip goal.
So now we have more substitutions. We have Ciara Grogan coming on, number 21. She's replacing Caoimhe Carmody. And we have two coming for Tipperary now in a couple of minutes. As the ball comes out, Mairead Everson wins the ball, plays it in towards Grace O'Brien, but the ball passes out and it goes straight to Mary Burke. Mary Burke is through. Mary Burke shoots, and it's over the bar. No, sorry,
wide ball. I suppose great from a Clare point of view, great to see Ciara Grogan taken back onto the field. Ciara was away for the league and is back with us, but had picked up an injury, so this is actually her first game, so good from a Clare point of view.
Yeah, exactly. Bring her back for a quarter final and get some game time into the legs, As Clare tried to clear their lines here, and it's Jennifer Daly. It's a bit of a tussle on the sideline, but it's Caoimhe Maher passes off to Karen Kennedy along the line, who passes off in turn to Clodagh McIntyre, who takes off. Clodagh has Caoimhe Cahill behind her, but she shakes her off. Jinx one way, but the ball goes to the right and wide. Tipperary have two subs coming here now. It looks to be who? Emma Carey, number 23, and Jean Kelly, number 24. So as you said, I'd say no chance has been taken here. Any of the girls that are carrying bits of knocks, get them off.
But as both teams are already through,
Yeah.
so to speak, for the quarter-finals, like, mind your players, mind those. If there is an eagle, if there is a knock, whip her off. We have a bench each side, put them on.
So it looks like Niamh Costigan leaving the fray, and so too is Casey Hennessy, the goal scorer a few minutes ago, who exits the fray with 2-1 to her name. A good day's work for Casey Hennessy. Jean Kelly goes up in her position. The play develops again. It's Sarah Corcoran plays a crossfield ball across to Emer Heffernan. Emer wins the ball. You just feel that the fizz is slightly gone out of Clare there now. That they have to be careful. That they have to stay bringing the fight to tip, because
they have to stay bringing the fight, and
you don't want this to get ugly in any way at all.
And now Ciara Grogan
wins the ball. She passes over to Jennifer Daly. Jennifer Daly takes off. She tries to beat Sarah Corcoran, goes past her on the left. Has she a shot in her? She plays it short. And Roisin Begley, slightly out 2/3. Surely a square ball, I'd say, but it doesn't come to anything. Laura Linan catches it, safe, and it goes out for a 45.
There's a slight miscalculation there. I think it was meant to be a hand pass to the back, but unfortunately miscalculation of her, and it's a scoring opportunity that Clare will gladly welcome, so it is.
Absolutely. I suppose you have to take all chances when they present them to you.
Exactly.
So we see the stands starting to fill up with now ahead of the second game of the day, and Clare v Waterford, an all Munster affair. Caoimhe Cahill, she got caught at the last minute by Claire Heher, and this is it's slightly folly, I suppose, but if it works out it'll be a master stroke. But Jennifer Daly gets in to clean it up,
and
she succeeds. In fairness to her,
wow.
She recovered well.
Superb.
Claire Heher offloads to Caoimhe Cahill. If she runs now, she has Jennifer Daly to her right, goes the opposite way, and Caoimhe Cahill puts it over the bar. Got there eventually. Look, what looked to be a stroke of madness at one stage. I think it was Claire Heher called her just she about to struck it, but recovered the situation and came out with a point.
And that's what they wanted, Clare, was to keep that scoreboard ticking.
Absolutely,
over.
Yeah, keep it ticking
and
over.
Get as many as your forwards.
Laura
on
Lang
the
goes long
scoreboard.
now down on top of Mary Burke. Mary Burke wins the ball. Going backwards, she passes it back to Clodagh McIntyre. Clodagh McIntyre back playing her own half back line. Passes across field to Sarah Corcoran. All Ireland minor winner last year with Tipperary. Plays it in as far as Jean Kelly. Jean strikes off the left. Great score from Jean Kelly. Jean is another player that she's making a big impact when she enters the games. Jean has 2-4 scored this year so far. 2-4 from play, and that now brings it to 2-5. As the puck out comes out, we're back again. Aoife Anderson offloads. Gets the small messy between the two. Clean Queely. Karen Kendi is away with it. Karen Kendi pops it off, and Julianne Burke has the ball, and they're going back for the free. Slight bit of a high tackle. As we see two more Tipperary subs warming up, we have Amy Quinlisk of Killer One, and we have Niamh Cuneen of Silvermines. So Grace O'Brien hits the free, and it's over the bar.
It's hanging, but it had the distance.
So Amy Quinlisk replaces number 10 Roisin Howard, and have number 26 Niamh Cuneen replaces Clodagh McIntyre, number 13.
Now Clare, I think this time playing it through the lines. Sharp puck out there.
Yeah, it is a game. It's high risk, I suppose, but it's if you're good at it, it's.
Andrea O'Keefe is moving forward with it.
Great ball in now. It's in top on your Loughlin. She's going to have a fine tussle with Emma Carey. They're both two tall girls, but it appears that Emma Carey wins that one and the ball goes wide.
He's calling for 45, but
it looked to be a clash, sort of. Now, puck up by Laura Linan goes slightly wayward here, out over Mairead Evans's head. Caoimhe Cahill comes in, slightly erratic, but she doesn't win it. Mairead Evans wins the ball down the line to Grace O'Brien. Grace O'Brien having a fair tussle now with Abby Walsh.
And Aoife Anderson comes away with it.
Aoife Anderson away.
Feeds it back to Clare Heher.
And she plays it long, down on top of Roisin Begley, who probably wasn't rightly ready for it, but Emer Lukeman coming away with the ball to Mairead Evanston. Mairead Evanston down again. A few tired bodies again, you can see. Mary Burke is just
now
struggling with the ball up to Jennifer Daly. Jennifer Daly has lots of open grass in front of her. She's sold as forward. She's 40 out. Turns in on the right hand side. Tis high, tis short though. Is Anya Loughlin there? She is, but so is Laura Lennon. And Emer Lucan tidies up. Emma Carey to clear. Clears out to Sarah Corcoran. Sarah Corcoran has Jennifer Daly for company, and she gets it at second time of asking. And Sarah clears her lines as Quiva Maher. Oh, Quiva Maher wins a free. Yeah.
Late tussle by Ellen there.
Yeah, let's see Aoife McGrath entering the fray now. Aoife McGrath from Drummondinch. Aoife McGrath for Karine Blair. So changes of fray from both managers there, as you said earlier. They're probably they're trying to keep fresh legs on the pitch.
Yeah, definitely. And
the game has sort of dipped a small bit there in terms of intensity.
The intensity has dipped, and I suppose fresh legs in now, because as we said, it is conditions for players while it's dry. It is very muggy and it is uncomfortable, and we're suffering it up here. So
I can't imagine what they're like below.
Yeah, tough on them.
And there's a free given against Niamh Cuneen on the far side for over carrying. Clare Herr coming out to hit this now again. But I suppose the substitutions, well, they're not. It's giving them a chance to get game time into the league. Stake a claim for some game time in the quarter final. Training matches will be few and far, I suppose, between here and then. So it is all down to take your chance when you get it and try put your best foot forward to stake a claim. Quiva Cahill out on the far side. She tries to pump her leg. She wins a free. Good determination by Quiva Cahill there. She had 3 for company there, but she got her free out of it.
An opportunity here. I suppose the choice is, do you just put it between the posts? Aisling Cooney's going to take it.
Yeah.
Or do you drop it in around the house and hope that Ellen or Roisin will...
Yeah, it is far out. It is out on the far sideline. It is probably...
But within Cooney's capabilities.
Well, sure. She's going to have a crack at it, which you'd like to see, so she might as well. Only 2 Clare players in around within 14 yards. She connected well with it. It looks to be going all the way. Super score. That's a great score.
Superb score from Cooney. And well able to manage those long distance frees also. And I suppose that is something that John Carmody has, is that in the event that Zian is off, he has Aisling to pick from the bench to throw on as a capable free taker.
Yeah, look, we know now that the game these days now is it's a panel game. It's 20 players plus, so you need everyone the ball played out to the far sideline. By Niamh Cuneen or Jean Kelly's going to chase it, but she's going to run out of ground, and it's a clear line ball coming out.
Susan Daly standing over this Kivra Pippin, and her sister Jennifer running in to support her and winning possession.
Jennifer Daly's had a fine game today. She's really covered an awful lot of ground. But in the number 12 jersey, she had a great tussle there in the middle of the field with Karen Kennedy for a lot of the game. But she's really one of the standout players for Clare today.
Definitely. She's had a superb game. She's defending and she's attacking and she's feeding ball in at the same time to our forward line.
Bit of a scrap on the far side. The ball comes away and it's Clare Herr to clear her lines. And she clears it straight to Karen Kennedy. That won't be in the plans, but tiredness is probably kicking in. Karen offloads it to Grace O'Brien. Grace O'Brien does as Grace does, and she punishes.
And I suppose that is what, as you say, a good forward will do. They will punish the unenforced errors that happen on the field.
Yeah, I think that's Grace's eighth shot of the day, and she's 8 points. Both from frees and from play, it is. And here we have to be clinical. Looks to be a free going in there, free one by Niamh Cuneen.
Jennifer Daly appeals, but
she's on is she on a yellow? Don't think so.
No, it was Zian. Zian had got one in the first half, yeah. So Jennifer.
Oh. That's a second yellow.
That is a second yellow.
It's an unfortunate way to end the day for Jennifer Daly, who I just highlighted was one of the better players for Clare today.
That came on to ground, she covered and...
Yes, that's just unfortunate, I suppose, when she had a yellow carrying over from the second half, or from the first half, and Unfortunately, 2 yellows equals a red. But look,
I suppose
she won't be too bothered, I suppose, in the way that it doesn't rule her out of the quarter final. But
it's just disappointing.
It's
for her
personally disappointing. Yes,
personally
exactly.
disappointing for her.
Grace O'Brien takes the resultant free, and Grace puts it over the bar.
And I suppose then it does pile the pressure on, if you like, because now we have a 14-man Clare against a 15-man Tip.
The ball goes short out to the corner back, which is Danielle Griffin. Danielle clears her lines well.
Eve Anderson.
Eve Anderson comes off her hurley, goes over the line.
Well shepherded out there by Marie Deveston.
Yeah. And it's going to be a free now, it looks like, because Eve Anderson, she tried to stop Marie Deveston playing the quick line ball. So it's now a free for Tipperary.
And again, I suppose these are things that we don't expect. And I think it's not...
Yeah, look,
it's
probably a learning curve for a certain amount of the girls. Like, we've said away the experience of the true Clonera girls. They've been to the highest level, and as you said, Scariff have also. But it's probably just small things that are catching them. That they hopefully learn by today as the free goes in. Jean Kelly gets onto the breaking ball.
Superb bat out.
Oh, well done! Great block by Abby Walsh. Abby Walsh, as it goes out, Clare Hatter is there for company, and Clare tried to clear the lines through Linda Daly. We rock ball forms again, and it comes out as far as Julianne Burke, who offloads to Grace O'Brien. Grace will shoot surely. Oh, she gets half blocked down. Ball goes in around. Niamh Quinine is in, but Darren Murphy comes out, clears her lines. Clare Hatter cleans it up and clears her lines to Abby Walsh. Abby Walsh puts on the burners and opens and sees grass in front of her. Now she's Cueva Cahill on her shoulder. She can just break away for her. She's running out of... Yeah, Tipperary 5-6 girls back. There's a lot of bodies.
Andrea O'Keefe.
Very good. This is going to be a great score. She gets it. That's a super score.
Super score from Andrea
O'Keefe.
Absolute superb. And there you hear the Clare crowd.
Yes. Says you, if you could have them in for the first half.
Yeah.
It'd be better again.
Well, listen, we'll take them, so we will. We'll take them at any point. And I think that in itself will be a huge boost to Clare girls to hear that roar of encouragement.
Look, I suppose the support in Camogie is growing, and the way you promote our games is something very important. And you just like to think that get more people to games, because the standard has rose dramatically.
It has, and I suppose from a Clare point of view this year, all our games have actually played in county grounds.
As we see Marie Deveston shoot off the left, but it's gone to the right and wide. Yes, you were saying, Breed.
Yeah, the first two games were played in Cusack Park. Last week we were in Páirc Uí Chaoimh. This week we're in Thurles. Like, that's what these girls want.
It's a great experience for the girls to play in all these big stadiums. Yeah. That's where their male counterparts get to play all the time.
Yeah, absolutely superb, and they're deserving of it because
they put the same effort in, the same match preparations, and the commitments and the sacrifices, all the very same as what the males make. Now as the ball goes in from Eve Anderson, there's no one at home, only Laura Linnane. Laura clears her lines to Sarah Corcoran, who is all on her own, and she's going to get her head up, and she plays to the corner down as far as Jean Kelly. But it looks like Linda Daly, I think it is, or Susan Daly, comes away with it. And Clare seem to be playing a bit more direct, I suppose, in the second half.
There is more direct approach from Clare in this half.
Which is good to see, because they have the players, as we said in the first half, they had the players to play that game, but it didn't materialise as Marie Deveston comes away with the ball. Second time of asking, she's on her own now, and she's probably running out of gas too a small bit. Julianne Burke wins possession, hurley being pulled, no free to play on. As she plays it to Karen Kennedy. Karen runs past Clare Hatter, and Karen Kennedy's going straight through. She's opening up like the Red Sea. Somebody needs to come to her. Oh, well done. Super play.
Super play
by Susan Daly. Surely if...
Sorry.
Seems a bit harsh. She dropped the hurley. I think that's what the free was for, but she had everything else done right.
She had everything else done right, and what an interception, because that looked like a determined Tipperary attack.
It was. I mean, that was a goal-saving tackle. I mean, Karen Kennedy seen the open ground in front of her. She was just nothing in her mind, just stay going, hang it up. But in fairness, the interception made by Susan Daly was absolutely top class. And, it's just, as you said, it's the small measures again.
It's the small measures, and we have seen those flashes of brilliance from Clare throughout the 60 minutes.
Yeah.
We just need to see a little bit more of them next week.
It needs to be probably a bit more consistent with them, I suppose, and see them every day, I suppose. And as Grace O'Brien takes the resulting free. Oh, she's gone low. I don't know, it looks like she started to miss-hit it. I don't think she would have went for a goal from there. But she gives away a free, and now Susan Daly is getting her free out.
Now she's getting her free out, Susan. And Abby Walsh takes
and Abby Walsh takes. Well done. And we have another free one there by Eve Anderson. Eve Anderson has been impressive since she came in there in the game.
She has my own club woman now, definitely.
She's a hardy bit of stuff.
She's hardy, she's tough. And now with Ashton Cooney, back to Anderson.
Same side, Eve Anderson's on it again. Didn't connect what she wanted with it.
The commentator's course. I take the blame for that one.
Emma Carey play out the ball, and Emma Carey gets put over the line. It's a Clare ball going in. Some excited Clare supporters getting a small bit excited here beside us.
Yeah, some of the
as we turn to play, Clare Herr is up the field. Cueva Cahill. Cueva has also worked very hard in this game and still trying.
Clean it. And now
back to Cueva Cahill. It's going to be short. And the ball just drifts wide.
And you know, that would have been one that Clare would have liked to put away.
They would like to return from that one because you know they worked very hard for this. The ball comes back out again from Laurel Land to Emma Carey out to the left hand side, plays it down along the line. Niamh Conneen here with Karen Kennedy for company.
Yeah,
it seems to be a free out.
Yeah, there was a kind of a. I don't know.
Call that one, Breed.
I won't call it a fight and tackle, but we'll say there was a coming together that was deemed to be an infraction on Clare.
I've seen them given both ways.
Yeah. And it is a hard one, I suppose.
Yeah, look, it's a hard one, of course. Ball from. So, ball from Roisin Begley. Great ball across the field. She has Ellen Carey inside, but Ellen Carey is beaten to it by Emer Lukeman. Emer, I suppose, has been quiet and should be happy to be quiet today.
We're in injury time here, so we are. So.
Ball in again towards Grace O'Brien. Grace slips her player, but coming across the cleared is Danielle Griffin. Clears out to Susan Daly. Susan clears it across the field again.
Cliona Creeley picks it up, and now we have
great interplay by Clare. Can they get something from it now? Ball goes in again. 3v2.
Oh,
Ellen Carey.
Superb.
Surely a goal. We have. She done everything right there to finish. Yeah. She probably could have carried it a bit more.
Credit to Laura Linnane.
She was there. She
was a great save.
It was a good save.
But great work from Clare in the build-up to it. Great execution.
Super interplay there. They worked it all the way out from the corner back here. Susan Daly works it out along, and you know they really, you know, as I said, if they can get this consistency in their game going, they'll give anyone a good battle, like, because
definitely.
They have the players. It's just as you said, the small things.
The small things didn't go right for them today. No. Where they went right on previous days, but today definitely they didn't go there.
We see Aisling Cooney now. She scored one from the similar position on the far sideline, so she's on this side this time. She stands over the ball. Appears to be a slight breeze going from left to right in her favour. She picks, and it's gone to the right. So we're into 62 minutes, 4:16 Tipperary, 10 points to Clare. Ball comes out to Julianne Burke. Julianne Burke plays it down the line. Down to Jean Kelly. Jean Kelly slips her and off she goes in chase of it. She has Linda Daly for company. Jean Kelly, that is a decent score. If she gets it, that's a great score. Great score from Jean Kelly. Second point of the day for Jean Kelly. Brings her total in the championship to 2-6 this year from play. Puck out, played out from Darren Murphy. Out the far side, gone short. Clare defender coming out with the ball. She comes crossfield with it again to Eve Anderson, but it's intercepted by Mairead Eviston, who plays it in turn to Jean Kelly, plays it to Karen Kennedy. There seems to be a goal on here now. Grace O'Brien plays it along. Super save by Darren Murphy. That's a great save.
And the second one. The second one wasn't as.
No,
there wasn't as much force behind it, but first one definitely super safe from
patrons might be able to see there's a small bit of a mist coming down, so the ball was greasy there hitting the deck, so like they could go anywhere. Like super save by Darren Murphy.
And went for free out there.
And she won her free for finish, exactly. Goes short to Clare Herr. And that puck is the very last puck of the game, so we finish here. Tipperary 4-17, Clare 10 points. Dennis Kelly, I suppose, Tipperary manager, he'll be happy with his day's work. Got time into a lot of players, no injuries that we know of. From a Clare point of view, Breed,
I'd say
lots to work on.
listen, there's stuff to work on here, so there is before next weekend. I think one of the big things John will take out of it is no major injuries to anyone. I know we lost Niamh McQueen to
a few small knocks, I'd say, an ankle injury.
Small knocks, yeah, and looks like an ankle injury.
She seems to have her ankle in a bucket of ice down there.
A bucket of ice, and I don't fancy the pain of that now. But yeah, work to do on. Clare have work to do before next weekend. But listen, the aim of Clare at the start of the year was to get to Croke Park and All-Ireland quarter-final spot.
Yeah.
That's what they want.
Progress. It's another
progress.
stick, you know, you're along the
journey.
And
if you look at our history, like 2014, we contested a quarter-final in the Gaelic grounds. Second half was actually played in a monsoon, and the game had to be abandoned for 10 minutes. And then 2020, the COVID year, with Ger O'Connell as manager, we made the quarter-finals down in Park Equive. So it is progress, such as what we want to take to Croke Park next Saturday is a full 60-minute performance. So we do.
Very good. So look, I suppose just to tidy up a few results, under 23 All-Ireland semi-final, Glen Dimplex All-Ireland under 23 semi-final, Cork 3-13, Tipperary 15. So that's a good battling result for Tipperary. As I said, Cork had done a serious job on them in the rag in the opening rounds. Tip will probably be happy with that. Under 23, it's sort of an unknown entity this year.
It is first year.
Yeah. But Cork seems to be really strong in that grade. And I suppose the other result then is Cork went on to do the doubles day. Their seniors won 5-21 to 11 points over Wexford.
Yeah.
So that's a big victory again. They're knocking up the scores, Cork, and they seem to be just a step ahead of everyone else. But on the day, it will come down to on the day, I suppose, and how teams progress.
It comes down to it on the day, yeah, exactly. And I suppose for Wexford, it has probably been, I think, the most disappointing throughout the championship, because it's only been a few years ago since we saw Wexford contesting those semi-finals, making it to finals and that. So, you know, they have regressed a little bit, and I suppose it has been to the benefit of the likes of Clare and Limerick, who have made progression.
Yeah, look,
and that's what you want to see. Is you want to see those counties who were in the bottom four standings across the two groups push their way forward, push their way up, and Clare have pushed their way up and are now in a final sixth position, and that's what they want.
Look, I suppose that's the way it goes. It comes in peaks and waves, I suppose, and you just have to keep your finger on the pulse and keep everything moving development-wise, say, both club and county, for the betterment of the girls. Let them play games and bring them along. You know, they have the players coming afterwards, I suppose. Minor championships under 23, keep them coming, and it's all about competing, I suppose.
And just as you say about development, I know that our own under 15s are hosting the Jim Kinney, our former development officer, unfortunately passed away certainly a couple of years ago. Our under 15 inter-county blitz is named in memory of Jimmy, and they were hosting that today up in Clare. So I hope that everybody from Clare and Galway and Wexford and Dublin enjoy themselves in Éire Guinness and St. Lennon's, and that we will see those girls on the pitch in years to come as senior players for all four counties. And
I suppose just to echo the development sentiments in Tipperary, tomorrow we'll see probably over 200 children under 12 play their end games blitzes. So, you know, it's going to be a great morning in Coolmore, Dr. Morris Park. You know, all the teams playing in the finale of their under 12 campaign this year. You know, it's great games and great opportunities.
There's been a lot of people have given out about over the year, but Camogie is a sport that is growing. There's more interest in it, there's more support for it, and you know, that's what we want to see in our game.
Exactly, like you see girls posing for photographs and getting autographs, like that's what we need to see, and that's what we need to see more of. And look, onwards and upwards. For me, Trevor Hassett, Tipperary Camogie, and Breed,
Clare Camogie.
Thank you for joining us today, and we hope that you'll join us again for the quarterfinals in the near future. Thank you.
You're going to leave one free? Yeah, of course. Sorry, Glen. No problem. Thanks very much.